and you got to hear this when he comes on board, that the world's #1 brand cannot be trusted, and how this company, Google, threatens our privacy, security, and even our fundamental values and institutions. That Google's goal is to change the world by influencing and controlling information access. That its missions to organize all of the world's information sounds all positive and innocent and good for one and all, but in Cleland's mind, and he will make the case, it is destructive and it is wrong, and that Google's immense unchecked power is devastating precisely because Google is so shockingly political, unethical, and untrustworthy. Man, it almost seems, doesn't it, like we're attacking the modern-day version of baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, as the old commercial used to say. Google? The dark side of Google? This is going to be interesting. I want you to stay with me on this. But it's really undeniable when you begin to think about Google, not only what it provides us, but also what it does, whether we want them to do it or not. It tracks us and it influences our behavior on so many levels. We'll make the case with author Scott Cleland in the next segment with his book, Search and Destroy: Why You Can't Trust Google Inc. We'll make the case that Google tracks and influences what you think, your interests, desires, needs, and intentions, what you read, news commentary, books, what you watch, YouTube, Google TV, what you write and receive, Gmail, Google Docs, goes on and on. Who you've communicated with is tracked and actually perhaps influenced. What you talked about when you communicated with somebody through Google. What you believe, your political and religious beliefs and affiliations, revealed to Google Inc. as you search news, YouTube, groups, Gmail, Buzz, etc. Everywhere you go on the internet, Google knows what you plan to do or where you're going, where your home, work, where your commutes, where your hangouts are. Google can track it, and they do. You and your family's voice prints and face prints become known to Google Inc. You and your family's medical history and health status, they know that too. Your financial worth, your status, your purchases, all tracked in a matter of record to our good friends at the innocent search engine we've come to know and love and rely on incessantly. And certainly I do. And it is Google.com. Google Inc. We're going to find out why there's a dark side to Google, what they're up to here, how paranoid we should be about it, and what, if anything, can be done to check what author Scott Cleland will tell us is the completely unchecked power of this major modern media force, Google.com, Google Inc. I don't know. Jenna and Jeff, I Google, I can't tell you. I'll bet you I Google 50 times a day. And until, Jenna, you set this interview up and I started doing research, to be honest with you, I never really saw a downside to Google. To me, it was just access to unimaginable information in seconds that makes me better at what I do, and it never bothered me until now.
One of my sister's good friends works over for Google. He's a statistician, and it's interesting to see behind that because they really can do so much with all of the information. It's crazy what we give Google without even thinking about it. And to me, I don't worry about it at all. I still don't worry about it.
It's like what we were talking about with the iPhones and, and the information and what is Apple doing with it, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, you get such an advantage out of the technology that you're not going to worry about it, and you'll accept if there happens to be a downside. But Cleland, as you know, because you set the interview up, It's more than a downside.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's more than a privacy issue. There's a sinister side to Google as he sees it. And he's testified about it before Congress on a couple of occasions. He is the world's leading Google critic. He's next on the 50,000-watt front porch. If you Google, and you know you do, you don't want to miss this. Coming up on 8:12, an update on real-time traffic and weather together on the twos.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, westbound I-4 is crawling along between 434 into Maitland Boulevard, seeing some very slow traffic through this stretch. Eastbound I-4 still very slow from Cayley Avenue into downtown, and westbound along the 408 is also pretty slow between Dean Road into Goldenrod. There is a wreck off to the left shoulder near Goldenrod. 528 is in good shape and no problems in either direction of the Turnpike or the Greenway to slow your travels. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, off to a very warm and muggy start again this morning. We'll see plenty of blue sky, and the high temperature today will soar to 94 degrees. We could see a stray thunderstorm late this afternoon. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Good morning. I'm Larry Spillman, 540 WFLA News. Coming up at 8:30, a woman files a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against New Tribes Missions. Undaunted, NASA sets another launch date for Endeavor, and the president's healthcare overhaul back in court.
And, you know, I've been telling you about the fabulous lineup of Acura vehicles that I've been test driving courtesy of my friends at Fountain Acura, my favorite dealership. And I've been driving some of their brand new ones, but I want you to tap into the incredible buying opportunities for you right now down at Fountain Acura, where you can save thousands of dollars on the Fountain Acura certified pre-owned vehicles, and you'll be choosing from among the finest selection of Acuras you're going to find on the planet. And not only at Fountain do you get their famous customer service that you deserve, but every certified pre-owned Acura at Fountain includes this: a 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty and a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. They can do this because these Acuras are so good and so durable. They really hold up. All certified pre-owned Acuras at Fountain go through a rigorous 150-point inspection process. And now, through the end of the month, well-qualified buyers like you are going to receive 1.9% financing for 24 to 36 months on Acura certified pre-owned TL models. 1.9%. Incredible. Get started. Get on down to Fountain Acura. Tell them the Bud Man says, hey, they're easy to get to from anywhere and worth the drive. South OBT, just south of the Florida Mall. And online, fountainacura.com.
Traffic on air online brought to you by Diamond Exchange, Florida's diamond engagement ring leader. Show her you will love her forever with a diamond engagement ring from the Diamond Exchange. East Colonial Drive at McGuire Boulevard.
A Rhino Man is surrounded by an air of confidence and grill smoke. A Rhino Man carries an emergency set of seasonings, just in case. And a Rhino Man would never ever grill with anything other than an always cleaned and always leak-tested Blue Rhino. So, what kind of man are you? It's not just propane. It's Blue Rhino.
Find us at Walmart, Lowe's, Winn-Dixie, or other Rhino Man approved retailers at BlueRhino.com.
Hey guys, Dave Ramsey here. One question I get asked time and time again is, where do you find the mutual funds with the great returns that you always talk about? Well, first I work with my professional investment advisor, who's part of our endorsed local provider program. Second, I do my own research using an incredible software tool from Morningstar. It's their mutual fund product that's called Principia. It lists thousands of mutual funds and also charts the progress. It's the tool my team and I have used exclusively for more than 15 years. Now, this is not for everyone, and it's not cheap. But if you've paid off your debt, except for the house, and you've got your 3 to 6 months in savings, and now you're investing the way I teach, it could be a useful tool. I want to caution you again. Don't just run out and buy it before you learn more and determine if it's the right resource for you. We've worked with the folks at Morningstar to make it available at a discounted price. To learn more, go to daveramsey.com/Morningstar.
Every time you pull up to your home, you notice it. Your neighbors probably notice it too. Your paint is chipping, peeling, fading. So, you gonna paint your home yourself? I don't think so. Gonna pay someone else every few years to paint? That makes no sense. The solution? Rhino Shield. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that comes with a 25-year warranty. Bottom line, with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint your home again. Guaranteed. It's perfect for wood, brick, stucco, vinyl, and steel. And unlike vinyl, it won't mold or mildew. Call for your free estimate. 866-902-9937. It's more affordable than you think. Call 866-902-9937.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Call Rhino Shield for your free estimate. 866-902-9937. Rhino Shield permanent ceramic coating. It's more affordable than you think. Call 866-902-9937.
Hey, Florida Insurance Specialist continues to save the Budman's listeners amazing amounts of money on their homeowners insurance coverage. And what can you save? I mean, it's your hard-earned money. Maybe you can get the same protection for a lot less money. You know, outfits like State Farm, which got a 19% rate hike recently, a lot more in some other places, maybe charging you more than you need to pay to get the protection you need. Listen to this. One of my Sanford listeners saved almost $500, got switched by Florida Insurance Specialists quickly from Prepared Insurance to the Hartford, pocketed $500 on an annual basis. And I've had folks save even more than that, a lot more than that. It's all through the high technology and the website of Florida Insurance Specialist. You want to go to it today. You want to go to it now. It is challengemyrate.com. See what you can save. I think it'll blow you away. Challengemyrate.com. If you want to learn more, give them a call at Florida Insurance Specialist today. 407-805-0200.
We're not giving out the phone number because we like the sound of it. Although, as far as phone numbers go, it is pretty awesome. 407-916-5400. Toll free. 866-916-5400.
Now, we're going to explore the dark side of Google with the author of the new book just out today, Search and Destroy, Why You Can't Trust Google, Inc. He is Scott Cleland, and he served as U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Information and Communications Policies. He publishes GoogleMonitor.com and Googleopoly.net. He consults for Fortune 500 clients, has been way out ahead of everybody else, predicting everything from the dot-com bubble to the whole situation with Enron before anybody knew it was coming down the line. So he's a guy with some chops, worth listening to. And I'll tell you, Scott, it's nice to have you on the program, but you sure, in preparation for this interview, have made me look at Google in a different way. Scott, are you with me?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me, Bud. I mean, it's a very important topic. People don't understand that, Google is pervasive in their lives. They use it, and Google is tracking them wherever they go. They are really now Big Brother, Inc.
And there's a sinister side to this. It isn't just a byproduct of the innocent act of trying to provide us with more information at our fingertips than we ever imagined possible.
Well, Google's not evil, and they have a "Don't be evil" motto, but they are unethical, and they're untrustworthy, and they're shockingly political. And if we talk about a dark side, what Google has done is it has done the puppy dogs and rainbow kind of approach that says, all they're in is to change the world, and they're wonderful, and they've given us all these free services, which many of them are wonderful, and they do wonderful things. They've hidden the costs. And, so they have not fairly represented that the transaction that everybody's making is they are giving up their most intimate privacy, and they haven't given meaningful permission to it in order for targeted advertising. Advertising's not a problem. Your show makes its a living through advertising, but you have to be upfront and have truth in advertising and fair representation, and Google does not do that.
Is there a change that could be made that could make Google just all upside, no downside?
Well, I think in the book it's pretty simple. If Google was simply treated other people the way they want to be treated, if they followed the golden rule, if they were just as transparent and accountable as they expect everybody else to be, and simply if they obeyed the law. They are a notorious scofflaw that violates. They're serial offenders of privacy, property, and antitrust law.
How does Google threaten our privacy, personal security, property rights, and individual freedom, as you maintain unapologetically in your new book that it does?
Well, you need to understand that Google tracks everything you do on the web, and they have an unbelievably comprehensive profiles on people, and they've done it without anybody's permission and their normal accountability, and so they know what you want, what you think, what you believe, what you read, what you watch, what you intend to do. They know you better than you know yourself. Think about this. They push the envelope on privacy in every way. They track your online movements. They track you offline. They eavesdrop on you through Wi-Fi. They read your email. They photograph your house. They want your face print from Picasa. They want your voice print so they can identify you. And they have 500 products and services that basically track you as the cost for their free service, which they really aren't upfront about telling you about.
More with the author of Search and Destroy, Why You Can't Trust Google Inc., Scott Cleland. The book is out today. We're back with the author in 60 seconds, 8:22. Here's the latest on real-time traffic and weather together, always on the twos for you.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, eastbound along I-4, you're still pretty slow between Michigan Street into Amelia Street, and westbound I-4 is also sluggish between 434 headed into Maitland Boulevard. Finally starting to lighten up just a bit westbound along the 408, but still pretty heavy between the Greenway and Goldenrod. Do watch out for a reported wreck along Alafaya Trail between Chapman Road and McCulloch Road at Kerrigan Avenue. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
Sunshine today, hot and humid, 94, 72 degrees here in Orlando. Scott Cleland on the line with the Budman here for a couple of more minutes. His new book is out today, Search and Destroy, Why You Can't Trust Google Inc. You say this is a company that, unlike most companies, is in it for something more than just profit. Flesh that out for us.
Well, they're shockingly political. You know, you look at any business and you will find that their mission is about serving customers or serving their share owners. And Google has a very famous mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Well, that is a very political mission. And they're a very political company. And the reason I have a beef with them is I don't think they have good values, and I disagree with their political values.
What do you mean that they're shockingly political? What are they? I mean, where are they in the political spectrum? Are they a bunch of left-wing liberals? What are they?
The point I'll make is they don't, like most everybody, believe in privacy. They believe in radical transparency. And they also really don't believe in property rights, because what they want to do is redistribute the intellectual property of everybody else for free to the world. And so they don't respect privacy or property. And if you don't have privacy or property online, you are a serf to Google. And so people don't realize that it's a political mission, and they want to change the world by making basically your life a fishbowl and not allowing people to really have online property rights to reward those who create valuable information.
Now, you've testified a couple of times before Congress on the dark side of Google, right?
Yes, I've testified 3 times.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm sure you had the other side, representatives of Google Inc. there. How do they respond to these charges that you file? Because they're very, very serious.
Well, there's nobody better at PR and at storytelling than Google. They are the masters. And that's the reason why most people don't know about it and why this book is important. They are very slick about telling you half-truths. They're just like they represent that their business is free and it's wonderful, and they don't tell you the cost. They almost always will tell you the good side, and they'll ignore the negative side. And that's normal. But with Google, the thing is when they don't tell you the full truth, it's a danger to you. Because remember, all this intimate information they collect on you can fall into the wrong hands, and it has.
Give me a scenario where there's this downside, where it isn't just that they've got all this information, but they do something that hurts you or me.
It's an excellent question. There are 4 groups where it can fall into the wrong hands. A rogue Google employee. It's happened. A Google employee was fired because he was stalking teenagers. This information can fall in the hands of any hacker. It's happened. The Chinese hacked the Google system, and they stole Google's entire password system. It can fall in the hands of a spy agency. We already know from the Washington Post that that Google cooperates with the National Security Agency. It can also fall in the hands of law enforcement without a subpoena, without the due process. So how is that a harm to everybody when you have this intimate information where they've been tracking everything you do 24/7, 365, and they know everything about you? Well, a profile like that is not something we collect in a free society. That makes you more vulnerable to stalking, blackmail, theft, fraud, kidnapping, harassment, intimidation, or even arrest. Look, in a free country, we don't want people to have that much information on its citizens. That is what Big Brother wants, and that's what Big Brother Inc. and Google can do.
That issue is right in our wheelhouse here on Bud Hettinger Live. Personal privacy and government intrusion or intrusion by any entity into our own private lives. Now, in the final minute we have left, Scott Cleland, you are the author of Why You Can't Trust Google Inc. Search and Destroy, Why You Can't Trust Google Inc. Let's come up with a solution here. This growing unchecked power of Google Inc. What can be done to counter it?
Well, I think transparency is a huge thing, and accountability. If people start expecting, and if the media and the government expect Google to treat others like they expect to be treated, if they just hold Google to the standard that everybody else must follow, what is so remarkable here is how a company has gotten so far out of bounds. They're the worst in the industry on privacy. They have a 10-year abominable record on property rights, and they're being investigated on antitrust from 3 continents.
But there is do not track legislation that is out there, right? I mean, do you support that? And please explain it in the last 20 seconds I've got.
I recommend it in the book. Do not track is like the do not call list, and basically any American citizen should be able to vote. I want to either exploit my privacy or I want to protect my privacy and protect the security of my family by saying to the government, do not track me, and then legally those companies cannot track you without sanction.
Your new book, Search and Destroy, Why You Can't Trust Google Inc. Scott Cleland, it's out today, and how do we get it?
You can find it at searchanddestroybook.com, and it's also available on Amazon, on a Kindle, on Barnes & Noble. It's widely available. And thank you so much, Bud.
I think I just butchered your last name. Say it.
Scott Cleland.
Cleland.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Most interesting and important. Thank you, Scott, so much. Up next, equally important, a terrorism expert with the Bud Man. We are now 9 days into the post-Bin Laden era, and we're going to update the war on terror. Stay tuned. And that is right after the news, coming your way with Larry Spillman in for Michelle Murillo. Good morning at 8:28.
Wearing glasses with Crizal lenses can make a big difference in your vision, because neither rain, nor snow, nor dust and dirt, nor smudges, or even the toughest scratches, nor the glare of oncoming traffic can keep your lenses from giving you the clearest vision possible. Crizal lenses. Live life in the clear. That's C-R-I-Z-A-L. Crizal. Ask for them at your eye care professional.
The Home Depot is helping decking pros lower their bids with Veranda Armor Guard composite decking. Start building with durable, ultra-low maintenance material and for a lot less than other premium composites. Saw it, drill it, and get it with a 20-year warranty against cracking, splitting, color fading, and staining. Veranda Armor Guard can help lower your bids, which could help you win more jobs. And there's only one place to get it. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. U.S. only. See store for details.
What do you know about Goodwill? Probably that we're a good cause, and you can donate clothes and household items to our stores. Did you know donations fund programs to help people find jobs and get back on their feet? The more you donate, the more folks we can help. Goodwill is also a great place to shop. We have everything from sewing machines to designer jeans at really affordable prices. Try on merchandise in dressing rooms, pay for it with credit cards, and return it if you're not satisfied, just like any retail store. Discover all the good that's in Goodwill. Goodwill, good cause, good effect.
Bud Hettinger Live continues with news from the Fox Orlando News Center on 540 WFLA.
Children
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, continue to see a lot of busy traffic westbound I-4 between 434 into Maitland Boulevard. It's a pretty slow ride through this area. Eastbound I-4, you're also moving slowly from Cayley Avenue through downtown. We have thinned out nicely along the 408, just a bit heavy westbound from the Greenway into Goldenrod. Do watch out for a reported wreck along 436 at Aloma Avenue. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
Traffic reports on air online brought to you by AskTheSeal.com.
Many companies who claim to be licensed and insured are not. If one of those companies damages property or any injury occurs, your insurance claim may be denied. Find a company with the seal of approval on AskTheSeal.com. It's free.
Brakes, squeaking, or grinding? ZembowersAutoCenter.com.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, off to a very warm and muggy start again this morning. We'll see plenty of blue sky, and the high temperature today will soar to 94 degrees. We could see a stray thunderstorm late this afternoon. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Your phone's not going to dial itself.
This is your big moment. The moment you've been waiting for.
407-916-5400. Toll free, 866-916-5400.
We killed Osama bin Laden. What now for the ongoing war on terror? Let's bring back an old friend of the program, Waleed Ferris, who is a certified expert on Middle Eastern affairs and on terrorism and author of multiple books on jihadism, including his most recent, The Coming Revolution, Struggle for Freedom in the Middle East. Waleed, welcome back to Bud Hedinger Live. Thanks for coming on for a few minutes here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
What was your reaction when we got Osama bin Laden?
Well, basically, I mean, the first reaction is, of course, we got him, even 10 years, even 20 or 30 years after, so justice was done. But on the other hand, I mean, the question is, how come he was in Pakistan for that long without being detected by the Pakistani authorities? One would even say being shielded by some quarters, probably, of the intelligence service. That's the big question of the day, and that is going to be at the table of discussion and of tensions between Washington and Islamabad.
Do you agree with me that official Pakistan is lying? They had to know he was there.
Well, I would agree partially. I would say President, Prime Minister, members of the cabinet do belong to the People's Party, which is secular anti-Taliban, has been targeted, by the way, by the Taliban. The previous Prime Minister, Benazir Bhutto, killed, Governor of Punjab killed, a minister was killed 2 months ago. So these guys are targeted by the Taliban. The problem is in the bureaucracy below them. The intelligence service and those who protect the intelligence service may have known about it. Most likely those who have shielded bin Laden, of course, knew about him. And that's where the challenge is going to be. Will the upper level of the government shut down that part of the intelligence service? A tall order, very difficult. The narrative that they have been issuing, such as the speech, all that is because of domestic embarrassment. But that is leading to a crisis.
I understand that. Doctor, I've only got 90 seconds left with you, unfortunately, so I need to move quickly beyond this. The killing of Osama bin Laden, does it make it worse for us in terms of reprisals and energizing what's left of al-Qaeda, or is this a major victory that leads us toward ultimate victory against al-Qaeda?
Neither one at this point. This is an ideological group. They're going to continue to try. If they have acquired targets, they're going to try to do them. They'll be a little bit depressed to have lost an important man. They will replace him. The war of, the war of ideas and the war on terror will continue despite the killing of bin Laden.
Okay, fair enough. And what would you, if you had the president's ear on this, suggest needs to be his next move in the war on terror? Do you think it's time to pull us out of Afghanistan? Do you think it's time for him to step it up and go after Zawahiri and the guy in Yemen and everybody else?
First of all, in agreement with this government of Pakistan, we resume foreign aid if you do reform of your intelligence service and if you shut down the madrasas. As long as these ideological schools are producing the next wave of jihadists, we could kill them and kill them. It's like the Lord of the Rings movie, and they keep coming back. Shutting down the madrasa is the most important thing we will have to do.
Middle Eastern terrorist expert Waleed Ferris. Doctor, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. 8:38 here on BHL. I think he's absolutely right. Again, this has come up a couple of times this morning. about withholding the $3 billion in aid to Pakistan. Do you agree with me that that is something we absolutely need to do? Until we get some answers out of Pakistan, what they really knew and when they knew it, and configure the relationship with them to know that they're really on our side. And if they're not sufficiently on our side, I'm sorry, folks, we're $14 trillion in debt. We got better things to do with $3 billion in aid flushed down the toilet in Pakistan. 407-916-5400. Let me ask you, does the killing of Osama bin Laden, which I think we all celebrate, I haven't had anybody look at it differently yet by email or by phone on this show. I think we all celebrate that. And it was a tremendous achievement by the U.S. military and those Navy SEALs, and you have to give credit to the commander-in-chief because he made a call that was really, really courageous, because it was touch and go all the way on whether or not he was even there, and there were all kinds of ways this thing could have failed, and it really could have destroyed his presidency. Jimmy Carter did a lot of things to destroy his own presidency, but one thing was that pathetic and failed effort to get our hostages out of Iran with all of the helicopters and the sand and the whole. It was a fiasco from which he really never fully recovered. So President Obama, who absolutely is committed to spending every single hour and minute he can as President of the United States to push his left-wing ideology on us all, I mean, he didn't want to lose his presidency over this, and he could have. Having said all that, we have killed Osama bin Laden. We're already seeing that Americans are jumpy. There are all kinds of things going on airplanes that maybe we wouldn't hear about now. Things going on with trains, and people are all worried about that. You can go to Drudge, and yesterday there were a gazillion sub-headlines on that topic. And so everybody is nervous, and understandably so, I think. You know, and Al-Qaeda is saying we're coming after you, that he will be avenged, etc., and this will give rise to 1,000 Osama bin Ladens. Let me ask you, do you believe that the killing of Osama bin Laden is a giant step toward victory in the war on terror? Is victory even possible? Or does it just endanger us even more because of the ideological, fanatical commitment these people have to our destruction and the destruction of the Western way of life? 407-916-5400. It's 8:41 here on BHL. I want to take your calls on the situation with Pakistan in our next segment, and anything related to the war on terror. And by the way, because I didn't give you an opportunity on my interview on the dark side of Google to react, if you want to weigh in on that, I'll make time for you on the telephones as well, because that was a chilling look inside Google in a way I have never considered the great search engine before. The sinister dark side of Google. 407-916-5400. I hope you agree with me. It is high time we played hardball with Pakistan. Speak softly, carry a big stick, Teddy Roosevelt said. The big stick is $3 billion in aid. I wouldn't give him a dime until we get some answers and rework that relationship to our satisfaction. 407-916-5400. Good morning at 8:42. You're on BHL, and we're glad you're here on a beautiful Tuesday. Let's check real-time traffic and weather together on the Tuesday.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, westbound I-4 is slow going as you make your way into 436. Also still slow eastbound along I-4 between the 408 moving through downtown. Pretty heavy westbound along the 408 near Goldenrod, although traffic is moving along pretty well through this area. No delays in either direction of 528 or the Turnpike this morning. Do watch out for a report wreck with roadblock along 436 at Aloma Avenue that may slow you down. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, off to a very warm and muggy start again this morning. We'll see plenty of blue sky, and the high temperature today will soar to 94 degrees. We could see a stray thunderstorm late this afternoon. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Hey, you know, We're talking about Dr. Ken Cronhouse from Lake Cardiology every day on this program. He's my heart doctor. He's the guy who saved my life, and he's a regular on the show with his house call every Thursday morning at 8:05, breaking health and medical news. He's also the home of the cutting-edge heart scan technology called the Bud Scan in my honor. It's CT coronary angiography is the technical term in medical circles here, and it's a quick and easy scan that can reveal things about your heart, just as were revealed about my heart, that maybe no test will show, no other test will show, and for which you may have no symptoms. Listen, still today, with all the modern medical technology at our doctor's fingertips, half the people in this country, Doc says, the first sign of heart trouble is a heart attack that they don't survive. Wow, I don't want you going lights out, and that's what the Bud Scan is all about. It saves lives. It reveals things that other tests might not. It's your heart, it's your life, and I know you want to be around for the long haul for all of those who love you and really want you with them. How about calling Lake Cardiology and asking if this Bud Scan that saved me and thousands of others might be something you need to investigate further? They'll tell you everything. 352-735-1400 is your number. Call today. It's your heart, it's your life. 352-735-1400.
Traffic on Air Online is service of Allstate. Full service insurance at self-service prices. Your local Allstate agents make it easy to get the protection you need and save money too. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate.
You get up early. You work late. Weekends off? Not likely. Why? Because as a small business owner, it's more than your job. It's what you love. And you need technology that keeps pace with your passion. That's why Verizon delivers all the wireless solutions you need to make sure your business rules. Verizon technology gives you the power to enable growth and boost productivity. Because only Verizon offers an arsenal of advanced devices, powerful business apps, and mobile security safeguards, all backed by unrivaled customer support and the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America. More small businesses choose Verizon Wireless than any other wireless carrier because they know a small business with the best technology rules. Now get the lightning fast Thunderbolt by HTC for only $249.99. No rebate required, exclusively at Verizon. Visit any Verizon store, verizonwireless.com/smallbusiness, or call 1-800-BZW-4BIZ. Requires new tier activation and data pack. Early termination and other fees apply. Preference results based on third-party study.
Boss, you know that window I told you about? It's over here.
Shh, you're gonna wake up the whole neighborhood.
You watch out for landmines, they got dogs.
Never mind the dogs. Are you sure they don't have safe-touch security?
Well, they didn't as of last week.
What? You haven't checked since last week?
Sorry.
You do know that people are getting safe-touch all the time, right?
I know.
And you do know about the safe-touch two-way communicator and the crash and smash technology?
Yeah.
And you know about the new video...
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, today sunny with a high of 91. Tonight clear with a low of 68. And tomorrow showers possible with a high of 93. Get the latest news, weather, and traffic anytime at 540WFLA.com.
Hey, if you or your folks are getting real close to retirement, you need some help in protecting that nest egg. It gets complicated. Tax, Social Security, estate planning, and investment issues, just to name a few. I want to recommend that you or your folks, if it's retirement time, get in touch today with Nelson Investment Planning Services and schedule an absolutely free, no obligation, 2-hour consultation with my buddies Jack Nelson and Joel Garris. They'll never do anything with your money till they've done it first with their own money. That's the unflinching bedrock principle of this great firm. They are experts on retirement and getting income from your money in retirement. They'll sit down in the free 2-hour consultation, get to know you personally, your financial situation, and then they'll go to work with you at your request on a plan to secure your retirement so it's everything you want and need it and always dreamed it would be. And they are specialists in getting income from your money in retirement so you don't bleed down all of your assets one after another. It's a free consultation. No downside, all big-time upside. Give them a call today, 407-629-6477. Here's that number again. Give them a call, 407-629-NIPS. Thanks again to Waleed Ferris, one of the foremost experts on terrorism and a specialist in the Middle East, for coming on the show in the post-Bin Laden area. We're talking about how this is all going to play out in the war on terror from a host of angles here. And to DeLand now in Volusia County, Shane's been waiting on the line to talk with me. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Mr. Ettinger. Let me put it to you like this. Recently, I saw a documentary on the History Channel about the true story of the killing of Pablo Escobar, where the man who wrote the book Black Hawk Down he actually wrote a book about this. And one of the things he said was that America needs to realize that basically we're going to have to learn to fight dirty, because these people fight dirty, and we got to learn to fight hard. We can't just sit back on our laurels and always try to be nice and always try to, attract more more bees with honey than.
Well, now, wait a minute, Shane. We don't want to offend radical Islam. We put a bullet through Osama's eye, but we don't want to spike the football. We want to give him the right kind of burial, and we don't want to gloat over this, Shane.
Well, that's I've never have seen it like that. I never will see it like that.
Neither will I.
I look back at, we need to get the World War II mentality back. And the World War II mentality, we fought to win, and we did not quit fighting until we did win. After that, I don't know what happened, but we lost that spirit. And with the way this country is being run, we need to get that spirit back, and we need to get people in the White House and in Congress who will reignite that spirit and say, no, we are here to win, and we will not stop until our enemy has been totally wiped out.
Well, and I'm going to talk to you more about that here in just a moment, because I'm not even sure that that's achievable, but the spirit we do need to reclaim, and I salute you for understanding that America the way we used to be in matters of war is America the way we must become, for the protection of our people and our homeland and our way of life. We don't need to be accommodating toward our radical Islamic enemies. We need to be tougher than they are. And we need to show them that we are more fanatically committed to our cause than they are. And they need to know it. And it's more than putting a bullet in bin Laden's eye. 407-916-5400. Final check of real-time traffic and weather together on the twos, and then back onto it. Here it is right now. Let's check it out. Sunshine with scattered afternoon storms as it gets hot and humid, topping out at 94, low 70s in central Florida right now. The nature of our enemy, the worldwide nature logistically of the likes of Al-Qaeda, with all due respect to Shane, and I love his patriotic fervor and I share it with him, really I think dictates that we can never declare full victory in the war on terror. It can't be done. You know what? There was a Victory in Europe Day when Nazi Germany surrendered. Hitler was dead. There was a Victory in Japan Day, VJ Day, when Japan finally capitulated, and it took 2 nuclear bombs to do it. And that was it. It was over. You could go to one place on the globe and finish off Germany. You could go to one place on the globe and finish off Japan. And we did. And it was over. But this isn't like that. Al-Qaeda is everywhere, and they always will be. Radical Islam is threaded throughout the otherwise peace-loving Muslim population. Everywhere. So what we have here is a situation, and I've told you this before, it's a different kind of war. There is no one listening to the Budman right now who will live to see a definitive end to the war on terror. A surrender on their side and total victory on our side. This is like battling fire ants at your house and your yard. You treat them, you kill them, but then you got to keep on treating them because otherwise they come back. Now, you can cut down their numbers and probably keep them out of your house, but you can't kill them all and for all time. And that's the reality. Terrorists are like fire ants. And you have a never-ending battle with fire ants in Florida. You have to stay on it, but you can never kill them all. Here's Dave weighing in from Orlando with a Budman. Good morning at 8:55. Dave, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, bud?
Fine, thanks. What's up?
Great. Great. Hey, I think these terrorists are more like pirates, and we should approach it in that way. Like maybe hang them from the yardarm, in a metal cage for everyone to see and the birds to eat.
You don't think that would scare these guys? They're radical Islamic. They're fanatics.
Yeah, I think that's a disgrace to them.
This comes out of the Quran. This is in their DNA. They're raised to hate us. I don't think there's anything you could do that could scare them. They are willing to die for the cause.
Well, I think we should give it a try, bud.
You do, huh? All right, Dave. Thank you very much. 407-916-5400. We'll elect you President, Commander-in-Chief, and you can take off on that tangent. Here is Scott in Orlando. Good morning, Scott.
Hello, are you asking for Scott in Daytona?
I'm asking for Scott, whoever he is, wherever he is. Welcome aboard.
Okay. That would be me. Thanks very much.
Why, sure.
I agree about your comments in that this is not going away anytime soon. I do believe that the war on terror will be decided in the history books, or at least it'll be more obvious at that point.
I don't know. What's the end game? How is it definitively won?
Well, I don't know.
We're not going to have a surrender on the decks of the Missouri, I guarantee you that.
No, will not. And there won't be one, just like with killing bin Laden, there won't be one triggering event that says, yeah, we won. It's not the same as certain other wars, not that we would ever try to.
It's an entirely different kind of war, and it's going to take to me, an open-ended commitment. As I say, it really is the military equivalent of fighting fire ants. You can't kill them all, but you got to stay on the hunt.
I would agree with that. What I told your screener I wanted to comment on was your comment that we need to play hardball with
Pakistan. Yeah, you got a $3 billion foreign aid stick. Hold it over them.
Well, that's true, but I would say that we've been playing hardball with Pakistan for quite some time.
Not hard enough. We haven't held them hostage to all of that aid they desperately need. I think that would engineer some behavior modification, my friend. I truly do. To Orlando and Aaron on the line with a Budman coming up on 8:58. We're getting a little tight on the clock. Take it away, Aaron.
Hey, I wanted to disagree with you. You said that you don't think that anybody listening today is ever going to see the end of this.
No.
And I wholeheartedly disagree. That's a little bit of a hopeless message.
Oh, I don't find it hopeless at all. I'm fine with battling the fire ants, but I know I'm going to have to be vigilant forever.
Yes,
and it's the same thing. I'm not discouraged by that. We can knock them down, but knocking them out is tough. Impossible.
Everyone thought with the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, everyone thought that that would continue on forever, and it didn't.
So how do we get out of the war on terror? Do we do what bin Laden wants? What we do is we forsake our relationship with Israel, and then maybe he'll be okay? We pull ourselves out of all the countries in that part of the world? What do we do to make them happy so they don't hate us anymore?
You can't. You have to continue fighting them. It took 35 years or so with the IRA. It might take 35 or 50 years with Al-Qaeda, but eventually they will grow tired and they will disarm and disband.
I've got to tell you, with all due respect, Aaron, and I hope you'll continue listening to my show, you are about as dangerously naive as Hillary Clinton. And we started on her at 6 o'clock this morning when she says the Chinese pose no threat to this country. I don't know. You got to listen to me more regularly because I think you need a little heavier dose of reality than you've received so far. And we're happy to provide it on the hottest topics in talk radio. My take and your calls every weekday morning on the way to work from 6 until 9. Thanks for our great calls today. Thanks for all of you who listened. Thanks to some great guests as well. And check out Bud's blog for some perspective on today's show and a look ahead to tomorrow. Jenna and Jeff in the control room, great job as always. I'm out of here. And from all of us to you, thanks. God bless you. And most of all, God bless America.